Hi, I'm Fiona, I'm 22 and live in northwest England. Welcome to my sciatica blog. I was diagnosed with sciatica about 2 years ago now. For most people, sciatica only lasts about 3 weeks, but in the rare occasions it does go on. It's more of a symptom than a diagnosis, and you've got to find the cause or where the sciatic nerve is trapped. The sciatic nerve runs from your lower back all the way down your bottom to your underside of your thigh and wraps around your calf to your foot. So it can be trapped at any one of these points, which makes it quite hard to diagnose and to treat, but it can be treated. But the situation with me is, because I have so many other medical complications, they can't figure out why it's happened. I'm a wheelchair user because I was born with a rare form of muscular dystrophy called mini-cardiomyopathy. So, one day, 2 years ago, I woke up, I got in my chair as usual, and I had this terrible pain in my leg. I tried to rack my brain to figure out how it happened, what I did, did I hurt my leg somehow, but I couldn't think of anything. To this day, I still can't figure out if I had accidentally hurt myself. I don't think I did. I think it's just one of those things. And according to the doctors, it can just happen like that all of a sudden. It went on day after day. The pain started out in my calf. It was tight at first and throbbing, and it felt like almost as if there was an elastic band around my whole calf. And it was so uncomfortable that I would try and position my leg in all sorts of positions to try and get some relief, but I couldn't get any relief. I went to the doctor and he put me on Vicodin, and that didn't do anything. It just made me incredibly itchy. As time went on, the pain moved. It started to concentrate on the side of my knee. By the way, this is my right leg we're talking about. Normally sciatica is just one leg. It can be either or, because the sciatic nerve runs down both legs. Anyway, it started concentrating on the side of my knee, and the pain started becoming like electricity, and it became almost intolerable. And that was only like 3 months in, it became that bad. The pain would concentrate there and go down my calf and wrap around my foot. It'd almost feel like I had a broken leg. I'd broken my ankle on my other leg when I was a child, so I know what it feels like to have a broken ankle, and it felt just like it. And because it felt like that, they went and x-rayed my leg to see if I did have a break, but no, I didn't. And obviously the type of pain I'm describing is nerve pain. So eventually I was diagnosed with sciatica. But sciatica is a symptom rather than the diagnosis. So the pathway of diagnosis started. I waited for an MRI for a long time to get through my health insurance in the US, as I was living over there at the time. By the time I came back to the UK, I still hadn't had it. So the GP reordered it. I had the MRI done, and it showed no entrapment. But I still have sciatica. And at this point, half of my leg is numb permanently. I can't sit up most of the time. Right now I'm okay, I've just taken my tablets, but this relief only lasts a few minutes, so I'm using these few minutes productively. On a scale of 1 to 10, my pain level right now is 7. It's normally at about 9, where I can't hardly sit up at all. Thankfully, my wheelchair has a tilt function, and that's how I sit most of the time, in a tilted position. Otherwise, the pain just becomes so unbearable. The pain now doesn't concentrate behind my knee as much. It concentrates right where I sit, as if I'm right on the bone almost. It feels that close. And they put me on Lyrica, and I'm on tramadol 6 tablets a day, which is the maximum for my weight. The Lyrica, I'm on 100 milligrams morning and night. The first 3 days of taking it were really good. I managed to sit up for half the days each of those 3 days, but after day 3 it went back to just the way it was. I don't quite understand that, but that's what happened. Seeing as the MRI didn't produce any results or bring them any closer to why I'm getting the pain, they x-rayed my hip, as because of my muscular dystrophy, my hip is mildly dislocated. They thought maybe it could be trapped there. But now that they're saying the x-ray revealed that my hip dislocation is mild and shouldn't be causing this degree of pain, to the point where it affects my daily life to such extremes that I can't go out, I can't socialise. And when the pain is not in my leg, which is maybe 1 day every 2 weeks, I get a good day where it's not in my leg, but the numbness is still there, but the pain is not. I have a humongous migraine, and this migraine gets so bad it feels like my head's gonna explode, and I feel like I want to be sick on a few occasions. I have been sick, and the only way to relieve this migraine is by lying down, the same way I relieve the leg pain. So I do believe that the migraines and the leg pains are associated with each other. The doctors find this quite a strange combination, but I do believe they're linked. It makes sense. That's why I believe it's something to do with my back. Normally sciatica is caused by a slip disc or something in your back that's shifted, causing compression on the sciatic nerve. But because I'm lying down during this MRI, I believe that's why they're not seeing it. The pain only happens when I sit up, and you can't do an MRI sitting up for some unknown reason. The next step for me is to see a spinal surgeon, which I'm going to see in August. I'm going to Salford Hospital, and I'm hoping that whoever I see can shed a better light onto why this is happening. And because the numbness is spreading, I'm getting really worried, because I don't want it to spread any further. I already have mobility issues because of my pre-existing condition, and I just don't want it to get any worse. It's impacting my life enough, and for it to have gone on for 2 years is just ridiculous. My message to people out there who are living with sciatica is to hang in there. My situation is unique because of my pre-existing conditions, but mostly normal people with sciatica, it only lasts a couple of weeks, and you can get injections into your upper thigh that can relieve it temporarily when it's at its peak. And normally drugs like Lyrica and gabapentin do help. In my case it hasn't, but as I said, my case is rare. So please take that on board and don't let it scare you. I'll keep everybody updated on what happens. Thanks for listening.